Glasgow is one of the UK's biggest cities and part of a metropolitan area of approximately 1.8 million residents. It is one of Europe's most exciting locations and a great place to visit, live, work and do business. Glasgow has moved on from its history as Scotland's industrial hub and has been transformed into a modern mixed economy. Glasgow is a people place. As the regeneration of the city continues to gather pace, the partners who have worked together to transform the city are keen to ensure that each of Glasgow's citizens is able to share in the new opportunities that are being created. Glasgow has a long tradition of valuable work with social economy organisations in the city, and in recent times a Glasgow Social Economy Partnership has been created. The partnership's developing strategy will help to ensure that support to the city's social economy remains an equal and integral part of Glasgow's social renewal and regeneration agenda. In 2004, following a review of the social economy in Scotland, the Scottish Executive published its strategy document entitled Future Builders Scotland, Investing in the Social Economy. This document recognised the value of the social economy to Scotland and laid out the Executive's plans to invest in social economy organisations throughout the country. This investment programme is managed by Communities Scotland, an agency of the Scottish Executive, and is designed to help social economy organisations to become key partners in taking forward the Executive's aims for community regeneration. The Scottish Executive is also preparing a strategy for social enterprise in Scotland, and a consultation document on this issue will be published later in 2006. The Glasgow Social Economy Partnership was launched in Glasgow on the 18th of April 2006 and is one of many such partnership arrangements being established throughout the country. Its principal aim is to provide a strategic partnership framework for the development and support of the social economy in Glasgow. In Glasgow, the Social Economy Partnership is not starting from a standing start. Rather, the partnership is a suitable vehicle which has been set up to consolidate and develop the work of those key local agencies within the city, which have a remit to support the social economy. In Glasgow, this brings together the local authority, Glasgow City Council, the local enterprise company, Scottish Enterprise Glasgow, the Greater Glasgow and Clyde NHS Trust, the Glasgow Community Planning Partnership, the local Glasgow Council for Voluntary Service, GCVS. Other key local agencies which have an important role to play within the Glasgow Social Economy Partnership include the National Scottish Council for Voluntary Organisations, SCVO, two social enterprises, the WISE Group and One Plus, and the city's network of 8 local development companies.
One Plus has been in operation now for 26 years, and what we aim to do is to provide a range of services to lone parents and other disadvantaged groups to support them to negotiate the barriers they face in making transitions in their lives to make a better life for them and their families. So we try to provide a holistic service that supports lone parents and other disadvantaged groups make positive choices in their lives. What we try and do is provide a range of services, so we do a lot of training, we provide childcare, we operate 30 out of school care services, 8 pre-5 services, we run intermediate labour market programmes that provide training and employment for lone parents. So we provide a whole range of different services. At any one time during a year, One Plus would deal with maybe 8,500 inquiries about various issues and maybe have upwards of 3,500 people in training. Over the past few years, One Plus has grown fairly significantly, and in the last year our turnover would be about £12.5 million. That is made up of a wide range of different funding streams. Many of the obvious ones are local authorities, European structural funds, Scottish Enterprise, trusts, the big lottery, a range of grant funders, but also we get contracts from a number of organisations like Job Centre Plus, the Health Board in various parts of the country to provide services for them. And in addition to that, we generate a lot of income from the services that we provide, our care services and our childcare services, where parents contribute to the cost of the service that they're getting. Our vision for One Plus is to provide services throughout Scotland. At the moment we work mainly in West Central Scotland, but we hope to expand our services to meet the needs of our client group throughout Scotland rather than in the area that we work just now. And that is to spread our model of practice, which is to support families in a holistic way that allows them to make positive choices. We would hope that over the next few years we become the #1 organisation in the country providing services to lone parents and other disadvantaged groups.
Basically, our whole aim through the WISE group, through the guys, is to get the guys up and running, trained, confident, motivated again, and help them achieve their SVQ level 2 in skills. And basically a lot of practical and skill work, and it's just about remotivating and building the guy's confidence so that he's ready to get into mainstream employment again.
I got involved in this training programme basically through, I had been on the sick through different things, and I had been a drug user myself as well. But when I went down to the job centre, they said basically that there was more incentives to get back into work and coming off the sick. So they said if I applied to the WISE group, I would get a wage to start off with straight away, and then I would get like tax credits and back to work credits as well. So they're basically trying to give you more of an incentive to get back to work, but rather than staying on the sick. To be quite honest with you, I couldn't see me getting back up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to my work again when I was on the sick, because I was basically wasting away in the house doing nothing. But when I get this job, it gives you a kind of an incentive to a bit of get up and go, and now I'd love to get a job in the construction industry, because it's something that I'm really interested in now. I think there's about 4 or 5 boys have actually left here already and went into permanent jobs now.
Wing Hong Chinese Elderly Centre was established in 1989 with the aims to tackle social exclusion that are faced by the elderly Chinese members. We have 5 full-time staff, and we have 3 part-time staff, and also we have volunteers coming to help us every day. Like myself, I'm the manager of the Wing Hong Centre, and we also have transport officer, we have administrator, we have 3 care workers to help the elderly members every day to solve their problem, to book the appointments for them, to translate the letters for them. We have a membership of over 700, and we have around 70 to 100 members attending the centre every day. They are all elderly members who are over 60 years old. The centres have all kinds of activities for the elderly members, like we have exercise class, we have English class for them to learn, we have say ping pong for them to play, we have the karaoke machine for them to sing. Wing Hong have a lot of activities for the elderly members, such as the lunch club every day, and we also have a nice garden for them to grow their own vegetable. We every Thursday we take them to the Chinese supermarket for shopping, by our transport services. Our organisation is funded by the social inclusion budget of the City Council of Glasgow. We are also funded by the social work services. We are planning to provide all the indispensable services to our members continuously, and we hope to secure the centre premises on a permanent basis from the City Council, and also the funding, obviously.
There is no single clear-cut definition of the social economy in Scotland, as the sector contains a broad spectrum of organisations which vary in size, aim and constitution. Some organisations operate on a large social enterprise model, gaining most of their income through direct trading activity. That is, they sell goods or services.
BCD Credit Union was set up in 1991. Its original aims were about the alleviation of poverty, and our particular target was for people who couldn't access mainstream financial services like banks and building societies. We reckoned at that time that almost 40% of people who lived within this area couldn't access financial services from banks and building societies. So we now provide that service to them, and almost 5,000 people in this area have actually taken up the service and membership from BCD Credit Union. Our principal services are savings and loans. The savings, you actually receive a dividend for your savings, and on average in the last 7 or 8 years we have paid 2%, which is a bit higher than what the bank would pay you. In terms of our loans, all loans from BCD Credit Union are low cost, and we have approximately £2 million out in loans just now. Loans that people normally receive money for are from holidays, for Christmas, for household goods, for cars, and some of them actually use it to get married. We also provide a range of products. Insurance, we do quite a number of insurance products, travel insurance, house insurance, life insurance, and health insurance. So we do that, and we do that in partnership with Norwich Union, who are of course the biggest insurance company in Europe. The expenditure for BCD Credit Union is probably about £150,000. Most of that would be in staff salaries. Most of that money is actually generated through the interest received from the loans, and we also receive £20,000 from the Social Inclusion Partnership. So we're very much self-financing, but the money from the Social Inclusion Partnership allows us to do additional services and also target particular sections of the community.
The Coach House Trust was established in 1998 as a company limited by guarantee and with charitable status. The aims are to provide employment and training initiatives for people from what are considered to be disadvantaged backgrounds, people with mental health problems, learning disabilities, chaotic lifestyles, homelessness, addictions, rehabilitation, generally really anybody that feels they have a need to be here, to be honest. Well, at the moment we've got about 27 staff, and 7 of these are young people that we've been able to take into employment from New Deal disadvantaged backgrounds, some people that have had mental health problems who've come off benefits and into employment with the Coach House Trust. We have 61 clients, we have about 12 volunteers and assorted members of the community that come in and out to take part in our activities. We have people who are doing community service, people that are doing work placements from other organisations. When people come here, they're coming to their work, they're not coming to therapy, and they're not coming to occupational therapy, they're actually coming because they consider it to be their work. And they do horticulture, they do arts and crafts, they do hard landscaping, soft landscaping, recycling, they tree surgery, you name it, virtually, it's just about everything. A lot of composting. We've got the shop which retails all the products that we make in our various workshops and units are sold out through the shop, as well as marketing the contracts that we can undertake in terms of tree felling or garden contracts in the local community. Currently the Coach House Trust is operating at a level just under £1 million a year. A lot of that is made up of different grant funding, contractual income and generated income that we bring in ourselves. The whole political thinking within the voluntary sector just now is that you become more sustainable. You're able to procure contracts from the City Council, procure contracts to deliver tenders out in the community, which is something that we're looking at because it allows you to move away from grant funding. I think the Coach House Trust has been successful because of the people that come here. They're the people that generate the energy that allows this organisation to go on. It's training people in a different way. It's actually looking at the person before you look at the problems and saying, how can we work with this person to make life a bit better for them? It takes time, it's not going to happen overnight, but if the outcomes are positive and people move on in their lives, that's what it's about.
The defining characteristics of a social economy organisation are the type of function which it carries out and the way it works. The type of function which social economy organisations carry out includes childcare, vocational and employment training, community and elderly care, learning disabilities, adult literacy and numeracy, and social housing. The ways in which social economy organisations work include the fact that they are established for a social purpose, voluntarily managed, more than profit making, and feature community or user participation. The Local Development Company Network is a collaboration of 8 independent, more than profit making companies, which are committed to the regeneration of some of the most excluded and marginalised communities in Glasgow.
There are now 8 local development companies throughout the city working in the most disadvantaged areas of Glasgow, areas which have now been designated as community planning partnership areas. Each company is registered as a company limited by guarantee with an independent board. and management structure. Last year, the local development companies had a combined turnover of around 27 million. That was secured through a variety of sources: grant funding, income generation, and so on. The local development companies have been highly experienced in securing and managing complex funding streams for the benefit of local areas. Currently, the local development companies have a staff complement of around 500 people, all engaged in delivering local services. In the last year, we assisted some 18,500 people, of which over 4,000 gained qualifications and around 5,000 entered employment. The aim of the companies within the local development company network is to work towards the regeneration of the most excluded and marginalised communities within Glasgow. The local development companies deliver a range of services, including employability support, business development, lifelong learning, working with social economy organisations and property development. For example, in employability, we have for a number of years worked very closely with some major UK retailers, for example Tesco, in Shettleston, in Springburn and currently in Pollock. We've also worked with many retailers in the Fort Retail Park in Easterhouse and Braehead and Great Western Retail Park. Throughout this time, we have considered both the needs of the employer and the potential employees through a programme of pre-employment training and ongoing aftercare.
Glasgow's enjoyed a real renaissance in recent years. There are more jobs than ever before, new schools, new homes, new businesses, leisure facilities springing up all across the city. The challenge we now face is to continue this work and to ensure that everyone in the city, regardless of their background, can share in this success. Glasgow City Council and its partners have a long tradition of supporting social economy organisations, and in the past few years the social economy has grown significantly in Glasgow. We now have around 1,300 social economy organisations in the city, employing between 14,000 and 18,000 people. And of course there's another 1,000 people volunteer on a part-time basis. We estimate that the income generated by this level of activity amounts to £400 million each year. I mean, these are very, very impressive figures. Glasgow is a great city, a vibrant and flourishing city. Above all, it is the people's city. Investing in Glasgow's social economy will continue to be an important part of our plans for social renewal and economic regeneration. We will ensure that Glasgow is a place where all of our citizens are able to live, work and play on an equal basis.